Hey everyone, how you doing today? I'll take another look at the workshop and see what was out there, and a lot of really cool stuff. So the first two are going to be in vanilla, and the next five are going to be in Reforged Eden. So the very first one here, vanilla creation, this is the Nike by Allessia, and very, very cool looking combat ship, I would say, combat CV here. Take a good look at the body. It kind of has that kind of worn look to it, which is really cool. Just has to do with the texturing and things like that on how it's done, using a little bit more of a rusty metal approach, sort of in between, not completely rusty or anything like that, but looks pretty convincing. Definitely like the layout and the shape of the ship here. It's uniquely designed here, where you've got like a hangar space, a larger section on the front. Kind of reminds me very subtly of like a battle cruiser from StarCraft, I would say, a little bit, just a little bit. But yeah, this is really cool looking here. I like how this is done here. There's a lot of guns on it as well. Oh, it looks like we got a bridge over there with some blast doors right behind it. Or a bridge. I'm not saying the bridge. Might have more than one. That's just really cool how this is set up over here too. Oh, look at that landing gear mechanism there. Interesting. Yeah, it's kind of like a larger landing gear, but a lot of it is just block work there, which is really, really cool. And it has similar landing gear on the front side, and then you got kind of the skinnier section on the ship between the front and the rear. And the rear bulks out again into holding a lot of stuff, including these great big old deco pieces here. That's pretty wild. I like this thruster setup here. Looks neat. Looks like we got long. Well, I wouldn't say that it's going to be deco radar because it's vanilla, but I was going to say long range radar, but that would be more of a Reforged Eden thing there. Let's take a good look at the top side of the ship here. Now you can kind of see a little bit of that battle cruiser look to it. Basically the battle cruiser, big bulky front end, goes to a skinnier section to the rear. It expands out and then whatnot. But yeah, I definitely like that. Definitely like that. Looks like all the turrets too have a really good line of sight here on the front and the bottom. And then you got another grouping on the sides, which can some turrets can shoot over the other turrets there, and then a hard-hitting group in the back of the ship here with artillery launchers and artillery turrets, and then some more up top. And yeah, there's a lot of weaponry on this ship. And then of course, yeah, there's more down below here as well, or at least some at the back and some in the front of the ship there. Very, very cool. Looks like a neat ship here. All right, well, anyway, let's take a look on the inside here and see what's going on here. I'm going to come through a hangar door. There might be other ways into the ship. I'm sure there probably is, but we'll start here. Let me adjust the lighting here a bit too. Bring it up a little bit. Try not to make it too dark or anything like that. Yeah, I kind of like how the hangar floor was done. It's pretty subtle, but it's got some definition, some different things going on there with these alternative textures right on the sides there. And it looks like from this hangar here, well, we've got some close by production, a bunch of small constructors. Looks like a couple advanced constructors right up on top there. We got restrooms with a very cool LCD there. Oh yeah, that's a shower there. Yep. Utility function in the corner of the hangar, both corners of the hangar as you come in, which is nice to have as well. And then it looks like a teleporter right up front here. Nice. Food processor, quite a few fridges there, and a medical bay. And then our armor. Oh, I like how this is set up here. I love seeing displays of taking parts and building block structures and things like that to make them look like they're supposed to be there and everything, and well engineered kind of thing. So this is really cool. The armor repair, 2 armor lockers on the side, and a cool looking display there. Definitely like that. So up over here, yeah, and this gets us into that first-person bridge that we've seen at the front of the ship here. Nice viewing angle, kind of a downward view a little bit, which is really cool. cool looking LCD work here as well. And Allessia made a lot of these LCDs, so I've used some in some of my creations too. So quite a master LCD creator as well. I like the curvy in here too. That's kind of interesting. It could have been just all straight, but author decided to do some curved walls around in various places here, which I think is kind of neat. Actually, quite a few places in the ship. It's more of a thing if you really study closely. There's some curves there and some curves over in the corner over here as well. But it looks like the layout is really straightforward. Like you fly into the hangar here, you're right up to the bridge, production, and oh yeah, farming over here. Oh, look at this interesting force field setup over here. So it keeps it the farm section airtight from the hangar section, just in case there's a breach or you lose a hangar door there or something like that. You don't lose your crops. Looks like a good number of grow plots in here too. 2 big lanes going down there. Interesting way to do the ventilators in the area. I kind of like that too. And then out in the back, we've got another force field going into this section here, which looks like we got a couple storage bays or storage controllers, and looks like we're going to have some parts back here, like the shields right over there. Fuel tanks all around the area, quite a lot of fuel tanks. You got a big generator over here. Thruster access, our taxi tank, looks like a rear Wi-Fi unit. And over on this side, a little bit different there. Do not touch. Yep, yeah, it's only like pretty hot. I get that. That's cool. I like those little subtle details like that. Yeah, very cool. So yeah, all our big parts are back here, and a lot of thruster access generators, main shield. Yeah, very cool. And yeah, again, the layout, it's not confusing. Even I hopefully won't get lost in it. So let me just make sure I didn't miss anything back here, though. Yeah, I think this is, yeah, it just goes to these 2 rooms over here. So, okay, yeah, no sneaky little hallways, other floors. However, I suspect that there is another floor up there somewhere, but I don't know for sure. Let's go up this way and take this main elevator up to the next floor here. Looks like up here, oh yeah, we got our warp drive. Looks like we got our CPU core blocks here. So this is going to be a tier 4 vanilla creation, so it should be a 10 million CPU creation. A lot more storage controllers in this area and some cargo boxes too. I like the setup on that too. That looks pretty cool. Wi-Fi in the front here. Ventilator. Go up to the top. It looks like we've got a core. Oh, we got a way going back now, and we've got some blast doors off the side here. There's probably a fancier way to open these. Let me just kind of fly through this a minute. I'm just kind of wondering if that is... oh, wait, are these blast doors? No, those aren't blast doors. What am I thinking? What are these? Those are just core blocks, aren't they? Yeah, those are core blocks, not blast doors. Duh. So our main core is right over here as well. And we got this this way that kind of goes through the center of the ship in this upper neck area. Actually, yeah, kind of overlooking the hangar area. And this goes out to the flight deck on the this part of the ship. Well, that's really cool. I like that. I like the blinky lights over here too. Oh yeah, they're all the formation. You see that? That's cool. And just a lot of stuff going on in the back of the ship too. Hold on, I'm gonna fly through the hall a little bit. I just want to see if I missed something back here. And maybe not. No, it kind of looks like, okay, we were up to the farm area and this back area. So this is just a lot of block work and other things up there. Obviously holding a lot of turrets and that kind of thing in this general location as well. Yeah, very cool looking ship. Let me get the lights back on here a minute, and let's take a look at some stats. So to start with, this is a size class 5 ship, so not that bad. Really quick. 255 forward, 125 strafing, 415 lift, 251 reverse, and 130 down. 21 fuel tanks, 12 oxygen tanks, 12 hour and 47 minute build time. Has 90 grow plots in it. And yeah, of course, I know this one's going to use some Estrium and Zachosium. It's a combat ship. They all do. So yeah, about 5409 on those stats. CPU wise, out of the 10 million CPU, it's using 8,300,000. Well, it's using that number there. So it definitely has some extra CPU available as well, where you could add some more things if you could find something to burn up some more CPU with. That's really cool though. Let's get into the storage on it. So it looks like we've got all our storage is nice and labeled here. So we got some fridges. We got an input over here at 320, an output at 320. Taxi tank salvage and mining at 304. Ammo. I got to assume that's ammo. Well, could be ammo generation. Maybe it's a ammo creation bay. And then we got ship ammo at 320, so both those are 320s there. Armor and boost, that looks like a box. Blocks, we got another 320k storage box there. For sale items. More loot, personal, salvage and mining 2, another 320. So yeah, quite a lot of storage in here as well. It's got huge amount of lift thrust, so I'm really thinking that this could lift the storage with no problems whatsoever, probably even in high gravity environments with no issues at all. And some more of these might be 320s, but there's definitely quite a lot of 320k storage space in here. Some of these other ones like plates and ingots and other stuff are also 320s, so it's a little hard to calculate how many are in here, but I would say probably a good 10 to 12 320s. Just a rough guess here. I'd have to look at it a little more precisely to be accurate with that. But yeah, very, very cool looking ship there. I love the aesthetics of it and the overall shape design. And looks like the layout's really cool. And one last thing. Again, because it's a combat ship, I just want to see what the hull is made out of. So it looks like we've got hardened steel. Sometimes they're mixed hulls. I just want to see if it's pretty consistent with hardened steel all throughout the ship. And it kind of looks like it is. Kind of looks like anywhere I look, front, back, whatever, is hardened steel. So pretty tough hull on here as well. Flying in the inside area. Looks like we've got, yeah, we went up to the warp drive over here, and we've got a little bit of layers up here. Obviously, it's going to have shield and everything like that too. So speaking of that, I know there's not a lot of fluctuation in the vanilla shields, but I just wanted to take a look at where it is at. So 3600 on shield. Again, vanilla doesn't have all the big Reforged Eden shield upgrade parts and things like that. So yeah, very, very cool. So again, this is the Nike by Allessia. Very cool looking ship there. Definitely like that. So the next one here, this is the Lacard Galler by Luther. And this is a carryover from last week. I wanted to show it. It was a vanilla creation, but I had all Reforged Eden creations. And so I kind of put this one off 1 week. And I thought I would take a good look at this. This is it's a big ship here. It goes with the other ships that the same author made. Like a whole series of this general aesthetic type of ship. I mean, they're all different. This one's a big one too, and this is the front side over here. So it's sometimes you might think it flies the other way, but no, this is kind of like the bridge up here, which is really, really cool too. And then yeah, look at that. That's some pretty interesting looking block work there. Kind of more of a deflector. Now this, I believe this comes from Star Trek lore, I think, but I know it was brought up in some of the past videos that I looked at some of the authorships with too. But yeah, that's a big one. I love how these thin blocks are set up along the top of we'll just call it the saucer section here. That's really cool. That's a neat formation going along there, kind of making that big curving pattern going through here. And the general color of it's really cool too. It's kind of that almost like a bronze look to it, which is really, really cool. Different from the norm. You don't see too many ships colored this way. um, made in an Empyrion here. So yeah, this is the absolute rear of the ship. It kind of goes out into these two big, like, I don't know, almost like fin sections here, almost like a scorpion tail or something like that. Cool looking block design. I like how this is angling out here. Obviously, I'm sure the author wanted to have this perfectly smooth, which would be amazing to be able to do in a voxel game, but did a really good job though with making that angle. It looks pretty good and clean for doing angles that the blocks don't typically allow for. Cool looking bridge area too. I like all these little subtle details in here. How it's kind of like angled around the sides. It's got some more thin blocks to kind of dial that in, and then the cool breakup over here. Some different angled parts and a lot of intricate block work up on the top here to give it that fine detail look. And other areas like that going throughout the hull of the ship as well. A little bit of more of a darker thin block area in the back there. Yeah, really, wow. It's a big ship too. Long tail section here, but yeah, I like how the thrusters are done up over here too. Kind of a green thruster painting there. And a lot of these kind of look like smaller windows from a distance. I noticed the author used that tactic on some past ships as well too. So when you look at these from like out over here, the scaling of it looks just a lot bigger, and I'm sure it's supposed to be a lot bigger in reality. But you know, yeah, if you try to make ships to scale on a lot of these big sci-fi ships in Empyrion, they're going to be pretty much unusable in game because they're going to be just too big, or maybe just too big to even build in the first place. So you got to kind of scale everything down and try to make it look big. And this one definitely looks big. Yeah, really wild design. Definitely like it. All right, so let's get aboard this and take a good look around on the inside here. Let me find a good way in the ship here. I thought that front thing was a hangar door, but it actually was not. We got some. Let's go on the sides over here. So we got some blast doors on the sides. Might be some keys to control that too. Let me adjust the lighting as well here. A little bit. Don't want it too dark. All right, how about there? So coming into a really big hangar. Nicely styled hangar too. I like the general decor of it. Interesting texture ceiling block work, and it's got like your main beams coming through here, and then it's kind of done up like that on the inside. A lot of lighting there. Looks like mostly white lights, which actually look really good with this kind of bronze look of the ship here. So yeah, a lot of space. So you got double hangar doors on either side of the hangar, and then you've got these other bays to park like SVs or whatever fits there in those areas, which look really cool too. Again, I like the texturing work here and the block work as well. That subtle curve up at the top there, and the way these like beams come down, that looks really cool. Goes well with the ceiling as well. So it looks like we've got 4 like separate docking bays in the hangar area. Let's go forward first. Let's take this door and head up this way or through this way. Got a big long hallway here, nicely styled, kind of fits with everything else on the ship. So we got a couple floors here. So it goes forward and backwards. Let's go up this way. Start over at this room here. Looks like we got a kind of a locker storage room over here. Really cool. All these rooms are nicely detailed as well. More of like the beam structures and whatnot. And yeah, same thing over here. Let's go down to the next room section here. And it looks like we've got more of a nice crew room here. Couch and the bed and pretty much everything. Might be more for senior staff, that kind of thing here. A couple of those. And then we go up again. See if I missed anything back there. I don't think so. And then we're right up to the bridge. Oh, this looks cool. This looks very yeah. This looks, I like how this is done again. A lot of LCD panels around and the seats. It just kind of has that kind of more immersive type tone to it here. And then our captain's seat right there in the center. Yeah, nice use of LCDs and things like that going around in here. Everything's very consistent as well with the looks of the ship, the way it was textured. Not seeing anything that's jarring from one side to the other, anything like that. Let's go back down the elevator here. And how about so that we got two hallways going this way. And you know, I keep on forgetting, I probably should be walking around. So I took off the jetpacks again. And you know what? I think I've been in this one already. Let me sneak up a row over here and see if there's something different going on along this hallway. Doesn't look like it. So we got two hallways kind of going that way. Let's go back this way this time. So we got a couple of storage controllers out in this area, and then we go out to a teleporter room over here. Oh, that's really cool. I like the use of the floor texture. It's got that reflection going on to it, which looks really cool with all the texture lights on the sides there. Reflective ceiling as well. Yeah, it looks like we got an on-off switch, I would assume, for the teleporter itself. Which makes sense. Yeah, so we either turn it on or turn it off. That's cool. And I think that's it. This doesn't seem to go anywhere else from right here. But we do go up another floor to this general section here. Got some more hallways. Hey, kind of cool what was done over here using a different block, giving the walls some definition, a little more detail than your like full or solid blocks. Looks like coming onto this side, we got a really cool looking cafeteria lounge type of area here. That looks really cool. Again, I like the use of the texture lights throughout the ship here too. That just looks pretty nice. So I kind of came out the front side there. Yeah, there's rooms going everywhere from over here. Let's what's in back here? Ah, so we get into a farming section here. Oh, that's interesting. I like this big blockwork structure in the middle here, like unusual looking framework here. But I would say we've got let's see, that'd be 18, 36, 72 grow plots, I'm thinking, in this room. And we've got other rooms all over the place. Oh, look at this, a production room over here. Oh, that's cool. A couple of advanced constructors, armor repair, armor locker, a lot of cargo boxes. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. Kind of like the way that it's using a lot of different cargo boxes in different places. Looks pretty realistic as well. And wow, this hallway. So it's going to go back to the center, and then it's going to go backwards. And let's check out this. So this looks like general crew room over here, and a back way into the farming section. Let me just make sure there's nothing different going down this hallway over here. So yeah, it looks like another production area. So we have production, crew rooms, whatnot on this general section. Let's head back this way. So we got an elevator going down here now. Let's stop at the first floor. And oh wow, look at this. So this looks like we're getting into some engineering here. A big, you can see the shield over there, and really cool oxygen tank displays going down the hallways here. So a lot of O2 storage in that general section, and then we got looks like fuel over here on both sides, and then cool looking warp drive display here with the detector right on the front of the warp drive. And some generators and more fuel tanks behind here. Really cool there. Definitely like the general look of the ship. It looks like everything's done nice. The author really dialed in the design style of this series of ships here. So then we're coming into our warp drive room and more engineering. More fuel tank storage, generators, Obviously the warp drive right over there, amp and taxi tank, and this cool little alcove right here. Yeah, I seen this on, yeah, this is a characteristic of some of the other ships too. This looks really cool. I just, you know, it's generally it's fluff. I guess these are real seats that you can sit in, and you know, if you're crew or whatnot. But it's just really cool the way it's done. Kind of looks like a big intricate display there. And we can actually take a walkway right up to the warp drive itself as well. Yeah, we got some. This is neat too. There's big solid texture lights above these panels, but it gives it that really cool look there. In fact, I don't have my video settings cranked up right now either, or do I? Yeah, I guess I got. Oh, I got dynamic shadows off. Let's turn on a couple more things. Freak my PC out here. But yeah, no, that's just cool. I just want to make sure I'm looking at these ships in the right lighting and stuff like that. So let's see. Let's go. We came down there, so let's go this direction, and that's going to one of the main hallways that way. So I'm kind of. I think this is the rear part of the ship. I'm in God mode again, and I'm gonna fly out this way. I want to see if there's some more stuff. There's a big chunk of this rear ship here that I didn't think I was in, but yeah, it doesn't look like you go in it. We got a lot of interior thrusters and things like that in this general area, but yeah, it does not look like there's any hallways or crew rooms or anything like that back in that part of the ship. Just a big tail section with a lot of thrusters and stuff like that. Alright, so let's take a look at some stats here. The lighting back on. And okay, to start with, we are size class 20. 38 forward, 23 strafing, 30 lift, 23 reverse, 24 down, 37 hour and 22 minute build time. Got 40 fuel tanks, 30 oxygen tanks. Quite a barrage of weapons. We've got a lot of laser turrets, 50 of those. A couple multi-drills and 2 drills as well. So all retractable turrets and a detector. CPU-wise, CPU tier 4 vanilla. It's under that, so it's using a lot of that CPU, but it is within the 10 million CPU range, so no issues with CPU whatsoever. Let's see here. Storage-wise, so it looks like we got a lot of cargo boxes here, closets, and then we're getting into our main controllers over here. So it looks like we've got. Scroll all the way up each time, isn't it? Well, I'm going to assume that these are 320s. I'll just get a couple samples of them. Get down there. All right. So by looking at it, looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. We got 6 regular 320 controllers, a couple harvest controllers, 320 there as well, and it looks like a couple ammo controllers. I'm assuming they're probably also 320s. Yeah, so it looks like, yeah, good amount of storage on here. So 6, looks like 10 total, 320k storage space. 6 being standard storage, 2 harvest, 2 ammo. And lastly, I forgot to look at this in the last ship too. I just wanted to take a look and see if it had some P menu options. This one does have one, ERNTE. I don't know what that means, or what that might have done. But yeah, very, very cool ship again. It really fits well with the series of ships done by the author as well. So again, this is the Lacard Galler by Luther. Very, very cool ship here. So I'm gonna get into Reforged Eden now to look at the next grouping of ships here. And yeah, quite a few creations here. One of these is kind of a carryover from last week as well. And 4 are new ones on the spotlight by various authors here. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of these here. I spawned in a couple and I was like, ooh, that looks cool. So I was just, yeah, well, most of them look pretty cool. Let me just say. Just got to get through the loading here. Almost there. The only thing, yeah, sometimes with these videos I try to break them up so I only show like one, like Reforged Eden ones or vanilla ones, but I was trying to get enough vanilla ones to save up to do like a full vanilla thing, but that felt a little unfair, and it's really stormy over here right now. Let me fix that here a minute. There we go, and let's get it to daytime. All right. So, first one in Reforged Eden here. This is the Hunter MK2 Reforged Eden by Entei. And cool looking, I'm assuming a starter style CV. I like this though. Cool looking bridge area again. Some interesting looking stuff going on here. It's kind of got these flare outs along the front here, holding some turrets as well. Obviously a way in the ship right on the front there from the ramp that's down. Probably triggered by the landing gear. And I'm seeing some sentry guns along here, and we got the oh, actually this is a little bit different in this area. This is a 45-degree angle instead of a 22.5 angle. Entei has a certain signature on a lot of his creations where they follow a kind of a whole design element of doing these like 22.5 degree plates on it, but this one is actually running 45-degree plates on it. Cool looking thruster housings there, also bent in with the 45-degree side pieces there. I like these intakes right on the back there. On the top section of the ship, it looks like it's yeah, it's trying to be pretty light on firepower. Obviously, a lot of sentry guns, which I gotta believe are pretty effective against drones, things like that. Cool looking glass area there. Again, I love the bridge on it. Like the glass work there, pretty aggressive. This looks really cool too. The way the this glass was like cut into thin blocks around here to make some angled window formations, and great texturing again too. And color colors are color fluctuations, things like that. Yeah, it's not too big of a ship, but you know, it's, again, I gotta assume this is a starter one, so I'm kind of expecting to see starter type specifications on this one. It doesn't look like it's trying to use too much CPU at all, and I'm sure it's going to have a lot of P menu options too. In fact, before I get in here, let me just check that. I want to see if we had our upgrade marker area and centuries. It looks like a lot of these already came down. I'll turn a couple on anyway and see what happens here. How about everything on? So quite a few P menu options. So this will, when we kind of go through the ship, it'll tell us where the upgrade stuff goes, which is pretty cool. Let me adjust the lighting a little bit here too. So first, coming into the hangar, looks like enough space to park something decent here. We got a place for a shield generator position right there. Oh, cool. So that's like a medium shield part, I believe, would go there. We've got or actually, oh, I see what that's going on. You can swap out this one, and you can put in, I believe, the full size shield here, the 3x3x3 one, maybe, if I'm getting this right. I think that would be the deal. Again, it's yeah, I gotta assume it's a starter CV. So a lot of these parts are going to be left out to keep the CPU down on it. So we got our warp drive right in there. Looks like a gravity generator in the back corner of the ship. And what do we got over here? 3 large generators. Remove LCD block. Okay, so yeah, you can get rid of this, and you could put in, or you can put in a couple more, or another generator right over there. Let me just see. The other side's completely different, obviously, because the warp drive's sitting there. Got a constructor right on the side over here, an advanced constructor. CPU extender block locations, so some more CPU places. Looks like we got a yeah, this is pretty cool. Like a full operational med bay over here. Got a switch for hydroponics here too. Interesting. Where are what's going on the floor here? HYD hydro. Yeah, I guess this would be a. Yeah, this is a grow plot right here. right here. So you can remove those blocks, put down the grow plots, and it looks like it's only deals with 9 grow plots right over here. Let's see if we... No, that's different. So it's asymmetrically done on the inside as well. The storage controller right on the floor here. And this is pretty interesting too. It's kind of elevated on one side over here like a balcony. And then part of it goes down to the front entry of the ship. Exit ground. Looks like we got a manual switch for that as well. It might be automatically on because of the, I believe there's a landing gear trigger that opens up all these doors. As soon as I park this on the ground, the front rear doors or ramps extended so you could get aboard the ship here. Then you're right up to the bridge here. It looks like you got our captain's seat. Very cool looking bridge section again. Like this cutout in the middle there too, kind of, so it kind of reminds me of like a, you might see in a helicopter or something like that. Railgun control. Oh, this is designed to hold a railgun. And we got our information over here. So it tells us about the upgrade marker. Additional space for a lot of different stuff in here. Menu upgrades, remove or detach. That's cool. I just like seeing all this attention to the detail in these ships here. Going along the side over here, a couple cargo boxes and a straight up ammo box. Yeah, so that is pretty much the whole ship. Again, more of a starter oriented ship. The thing I'm curious about though is it did say something about, you know, this seat over here, railgun control. So does this ship allow for the placement of one of those giant reforged Eden railguns is what I was curious about. I didn't see anything that stuck out like a place to put that. It's a big part and you'd have to have a housing for it. I have seen that on another ship recently, a housing to place that, but I don't really see it here. So maybe that's just some sci-fi lingo and not really referring to that pretty late game high-end railgun that you can put on a ship in Reforged Eden. Let me just look at some of these upgrade markers here. Oh, so fixed weapon slots over there. Entry hatch, additional upgrade space here. Oh, interesting. Oh, look at this. Okay, so yeah, it does have some interesting upgrade slot rooms over here. Storage extension area. You can add container extensions here to increase the size of the container controller. Interesting. Yeah, so it's got like some hull compartments to get in to get to other parts of the ship from the outside of the ship here. Oh, very cool. Yeah, both sides have that. So, so you can upgrade your. Oh, it'd probably put in a controller here. Fill this in with your containers extensions and have more storage. Well, obviously it does have entry from the inside of the ship too, at least on that side. Maybe on the other side it doesn't because of the warp drive being there. Alright, very cool looking ship here. Let's look at some numbers here. So to start with, unlock level 12. Totally fits into the starter CV category. We're doing 52 forward, 26 strafing, 26 lift, 26 reverse, 26 down, 4 fuel tanks, 1 oxygen tank. Got 2 minigun turrets, 7 sentry gun retractable, sentry guns, 1 detector, 3 hour and 28 minute build time, no use of Zacosium or Arestrium at all. So yeah, definitely a starter style creation here. Pretty quick build time too for a CV, having this much functionality to it. CPU wise, it's set up as a 400,000 CPU, which would be, I think, just a single basic CPU block added beyond the main core. And it's not using a lot of that, so you got a lot of extra CPU right off the gates, almost 150,000 extra CPU that you could do a lot of upgrading with. Pop in some more generators, remove some of this stuff, and add in some turret position like right here, over here, Yeah, I like how all this is labeled. I mean, it takes a lot of work for the authors to go through and place all these LCDs and make all the LCDs, and even got the arrows pointing to these upgrade rooms over here. And then just a lot of stuff here too. It looks like we can add some more, add at least another medium thruster per side there. Doesn't look like it's really set up to, you know, remove these thrusters and pop in like, oh, or large thruster replacement, medium thruster. Oh, well, kind of does, doesn't it? Yeah, it kind of looks like it is set up to put in some bigger thrusters here. I'm trying to figure out how that mechanism works here. I guess you'd need a 4-block range for that. Huh. Interesting. Or, no, you know what? I'm thinking of, yeah, large thrusters. Large thruster replace medium thruster. Well, not sure exactly how that's working here. Let me just look on the inside here. It did look like it had some extra room in here. So I would assume we get rid of those two plus these blocks. It goes back a couple more blocks. And then, yeah, technically you could put in a large thruster there. Oh, I see. So it'll kind of fit right within this range here. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it almost looks like it wouldn't be upgradable, but it actually is. So, yeah, you can put on some bigger forward thrust as well. Very cool. So let's take a look at some storage. So we got an ammo box. Obviously, that's 14K storage if you ever use a regular CV ammo box instead of a controller for that. Not a bad idea for a ship like this. I mean, you don't have to deal with the whole controller mechanism. We do have a 191K standard controller, and it looks like a 156K harvest controller as well. And then a couple more boxes. Our fridge, of course. One last thing. We already kind of looked at the P menu options. Just wanted to see what our stock shield 2450. So it does have some shield stock. Obviously, you can upgrade that as well. So, yeah, very, very cool creation here. Again, this is the Hunter MK2 Reforged Eden by Entei. So let me adjust the lighting a little bit again here. And the next ship here, this is the SSW Palaso, Reforged Agile Destroyer by Stand 2112. And this is a pretty interesting looking creation, I gotta say. It almost looks, at first glance, like especially if you looked at this from a distance, it looks like the top of a turret. Because like these would be the two cannons here, and this is like part of the turret mechanism, and it sits on like a swivel base. It looks cool. Very, very interesting design going on here, for sure. And yeah, it looks like we got some interesting turret locations throughout here too. So we got kind of looks like our main bridge would be right back in there. A couple arms coming out here. Yeah, there's I guess some turrets up there, but other than that, it looks like it's a lot of stuff for just the CPU to shoot at, or not the CPU, the AI to shoot at. Up there, so not really any big important parts. Couple minigun turrets on the front there. We got a little bit higher end turrets in this general section here, which is really wild design, I gotta say. It's kind of loops around the turrets. It looks like each one of these sidearms is holding 6 turrets. Got one on the top and bottom, and then 4 on the inside, but they all have a really good line of sight as well. Yeah, really cool looking block work there. Interesting, yeah, texture lights on the inside there. The color scheme is unusual as well. It's really, really cool. I like the way this is done. And then some more turrets along here. So this kind of looks like it's a more of a earlier game combat oriented CV, just by the general looks of this. Looks like we got probably a long range radar on the back. A couple more well, maybe these are turret positions. I'm not sure. These definitely look like they could be turret positions. A lot of places to put some more turrets up here, which is kind of cool. Have to see how the CPU on this one checks out. It's I'm guessing just by the looks of it, this would be a Core 9 build in Reforged Eden. Yeah, and then our reverse thrusters are kind of behind the turrets over there. We got a big, well, yeah, big Excel strafing thruster going on here. Definitely a combat fighter, and right in the name, being agile too. I'm seeing a lot of thrust power here, so I have a feeling it is quite agile. We'll take a look at the stats here in a little bit, but yeah, very, very cool looking ship. Nice. Unusual layout with things. It's just it's different. It's cool. It looks like it would be effective in game. It really does. Just the general layout and concept of what's going on here. Looks like be a nice ship for a like a Core 9 CPU range to get into some relatively decent combat. Thought I'd fly around the bottom side. I was kind of looking for a door too, but oh, look at that. We got a, well, we can see where the warp drive goes. That's cool. Kind of a glass, armored glass cutout there for that on the bottom side. All right, let me adjust the lighting here and let's get aboard. So it looks like we come from there, go right into an elevator here. I'm gonna get out of God mode again. So right up to the bridge here. Pilot seat, looks like we got a small constructor going on here. Our main CPU core right back over there. Looks like a couple places for some auxiliary or quantum cores. Fridge, armor locker. Yeah, we got Wi-Fi, O2. A lot of stuff going on in this very small room here. But then again, it's a lot of stuff looks pretty compacted in here. On the back side, we got O2. Our med bay and a shower as well snuck in there, and a storage controller. The hallway off to this side. Oh, pretty wild here. So we got a kind of a way going down through a little bit. We got a blast door there. We got a place for God, that looks like a medium shield. Medium shield going I think. Would that fit there? Yeah, well, yeah, 3 by 2 by 3. Yeah, I think place for a medium shield. It looks like it might infringe right over here on this corner. I don't know. Kind of, well, maybe not, maybe not. I'd have to play with that a little bit. Got a blast door over here. There's probably, I'll look at the P menu controls. Now, this looks like a medium shield room. And, yeah, this one, I don't know. It looks like it would fit except for this corner right here. Like that would stop it because it would need, I think, the full 3 blocks going this way. Not sure. But yeah, we got an advanced generator right back over there, which is really cool. Cargo box. Yeah, this is it's tight. It's tight. There's a lot of stuff going on in here in a small amount of space. I got to take that way down here too. So over here, it looks like we have a location where you could upgrade it to another advanced generator, but right now it has a couple smaller ones in place. And then we got another one of these here too. Hold on. Here, I'm going to get to God mode. I want to inspect this a little bit more. Try to figure out how this works here and what the M is here. Let me also look at this. We got a lot of P menu options here. Lasers, EMP, cannon, kinetic, anti-drone. Well, it looks like a lot of weapon options in the P menu controls here. I'll turn them all on right now. Eco mode, obviously, fuel, conserve your fuel and that kind of thing here. Excuse me. So yeah, right over here, it kind of looks like, yeah, this little block thing here gets removed along with that railing, and then you could pop in medium shields on these two parts over there. I think that was the whole thing. And man, yeah, I think that's it. Jeez, wait a minute. Yeah, 2 side rooms, the bridge, the way in, and it doesn't look like there's any hallways that are going in the back part of the ship. So pretty much just straight to the point. I'm going to fly through the hall here in a minute and take a look. So we got our warp drive over here. Seeing a lot of combat steel, what I believe is combat steel right now. I'll take a look at the hull material on this. Yes, so the whole back part of the ship here. Oh, this kind of looks like a interior room space over here. We got some small shield parts in here as well. Our Pentaxa tank, the main shield, obviously the warp drive. I'm just looking, it doesn't necessarily look like there's any way in here yet. There probably is, though. Is there anything sneaky on the bottom side here? That's our way into the ship there. Anything down to the top? I don't think so. Just feels like I'm missing a hallway somewhere here. Or a way in. Oh, wow, look at this. I didn't even expect that. So we got solar going on in here, too. Yeah, there's a lot of craziness going on here. And this is kind of like shape blocks on the inside by the solar as well. And some small solar panels over there. Ah, interesting. Interesting. So yeah, no, this is a very dedicated ship for combat-oriented stuff. Really, really big time setup for that. And looks like we got some more launcher upgrade slots over here. A little easier to see at night because those texture lights pop a little more there. Very cool looking ship here. I'm sure you could put some launchers right over in these areas if you wanted to have some up front there too. There's a lot of things you could do, but it's got quite a bit of guns and everything right now. Last thing, let's just take a look at the hull material. So we had steel, and then we got combat steel. And other places, it looks like it's a mixed material hull. So you're gonna find some areas stronger than others, depending on where the author would expect it to take impact or what's more vulnerable inside of the ship. Good way to keep the weight down that way. All right, so let's take a look at some numbers. So unlock level 25, 65 forward, 61 strafing, 65 lift, 65 reverse, 36 down, 14 hour and 18 minute build time. We got 4 fuel tanks, 4 oxygen tanks, quite a barrage of weapons on here, including 12 laser turrets, 4 missile turrets, 2 minigun, 2 artillery cannons on here, 4 advanced laser cannons, and our long-range radar. So yeah, these a lot of this with the laser and the advanced laser cannons would be more about taking the shields down on an enemy ship, and then you've got some missile turrets and artillery turrets, and still the lasers still do some more damage to that to actually dig into the hull of the enemy ship after the shield is down. And yeah, great numbers here too. 61 strafing. You can tell by those big XL thrusters on here. This is quite a maneuverable ship. In fact, it's very balanced at 65, pretty much on all the directions except for the down on here. CPU wise, yeah, definitely a Core 9 build right to the limit. 2.1 million CPU fits just under that, which is great. So yeah, no need for quantum or auxiliary cores right off the gate, but it did have some locations to add some of that stuff, and probably some more guns and some shield parts and stuff like that. Storage wise, so let's get over to this one. Very nicely labeled storage. So we got a main cargo at 400K. We got an ammo at 272K. Salvage A and B both at 64K. And then it looks like we've got some storage boxes beyond that. So, yep, I think that's what these guys are here. So, yeah, you're basically 2 main controllers. Your main, which is pretty big, 400K, and then quite a lot of ammo storage on here too. 272K of ammo. Yeah, very cool. Nice looking Core 9 combat ship here. Looks like it's pretty well engineered to make it work right in game, to do all the stuff and be upgraded and whatnot as well. So again, this is the SSW Palaso by Stan 2112. Very, very cool. Just a lighting here again. We'll take a look at the next ship, which is I think the biggest one of the list today. And this is the Incubus 81 by Barefoot and Hillbilly. And this thing looks really cool. I dig it here. So another ship that's really embracing some color going on here. This one's just red, and it's got some some of this yellowish orange or brown or whatever shade on the sides, mixed in with some other darker tone colors and even some kind of a bluish gray colors in here. That's really cool. I just got to look at this from a little bit of a distance here. It's a pretty big ship. I like this freighter look though. That looks so cool. It kind of gives me a little bit of that like if Expanse had a battleship. You know, why I say a battleship too, because I mean, take a look at these really cool looking like artillery launchers up here, all looking like they're on these triple turret setups here. There's 3 rows. Wow, this one's actually a double, and then you got 2 triples across the top. I like how this is done, and look at this really cool like plating work going on. That kind of digs right in through the like parts of the hull. So wrapped around plate around the center section. And the color scheme is just really, really cool. I really dig this look on it. And wow, yeah, just a neat ship. Really neat ship here. Oh, this back part, that looks wild too. Look at this. So this is actually responsible for holding the landing gear, but what a cool looking mechanism to do that. Kind of like tail wing pieces. I don't know, they just fit. They fit into the ship. This looks amazing too. 22.5 degree curved surface. Appearing to be a thruster. Obviously, that's just some xenoblock in there with some texture light right there. But that looks really, really neat. I love the way the author did that to give that that shape to make it look like they're thruster ports there. We actually have some real thrusters on the bottom side here. Looks like two Excels and 2 large thrusters back over there. We've got a hangar bay on this part. Looks like a ramp on to get aboard the ship there as well. Yeah, really cool design. Let's take a look at this chunk over here. So it looks like we got a first-person bridge there and maybe a second one behind it. Not really with a good forward view, but no, that's a passenger seat anyway, so that's not really a bridge there. Just another room. Oh, I love the blockwork. Yeah, this is cool. This is really, really cool. Cool paint job, too. I'm kind of wondering going to see some more brighter colored ships like this. That's, yeah, very, very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, anyway, man, there's just a lot to look at here. So I keep on getting a little distracted by that. I just love this look back over here, though. How that all comes together. That looks neat. That just really looks neat to me. So anyway, let's get aboard here and see what makes this ship tick here. Get out of God mode. Let me adjust the lighting a little bit here too. Let's see how we go from there. And all right, as soon as we walk aboard here, looks like we got a nice kind of a big using some of those new blocks, the big curvy blocks. And we got an armor locker and O2 and a med bay and a little place to put stuff. And as you walk aboard, looks like that's just another cargo box there. And oh wow, look at that. So I'm going to stay on this floor for, well, maybe not. Okay, let's just there's a lot of ways to go, so let's go this way first. See what we got going on here. It certainly looks like an engineering room. It looks like a place that if you got rid of these generators, you could stick in a fusion reactor. I'm definitely, yeah, it definitely looks like a fusion reactor room. Yeah, 5x5x5 it looks like. So, yeah, place for a fusion reactor as soon as you walk in. Maybe a second one because I'm only on one side of the ship here. So that is what that is all about there. Let me walk around this side. Oh, that didn't go to a room over there, did it? All right. So we got some definitely asymmetrical layout here on the interior. This is really cool. So it looks like we're coming in here to the, I'd say probably the main hangar of the ship. That's really cool. I like these catwalks going down on the sides here. Cool looking texturing and color scheme on the inside. Interesting use of the deco light parts there on the side. That kind of makes a pretty unusual formation. I don't think I've seen that before. And obviously we can, okay, so that fusion reactor room was right in the center of the ship. Okay, it wasn't a very wide ship. at least in this part of it. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So a place for a fusion reactor, upgrade path. Let's take this down. Oh, okay, so that just goes back down to this room over here. So we could go up on either direction here. So let's take the elevator, all major decks, and then our boarding ramp. Okay, so we're going to go to the major decks. So I guess I was on a minor deck there. All right, yeah, this looks like it's going to be a little more major. Secondary core containment. Looks like we got a way going that way as well. Cool looking hallway structure here. Again, using some interesting block work. Create kind of a different looking theme here. Double wide walk path. Oh wow, look at this. This kind of like drops down again. Where the heck am I going? Oh, this is another fusion reactor room. Look at that. This is not the same one I was in before. So 2 fusion reactors. Oh, this ship's pretty serious. And it looks like coming up onto the front area, looks like we just have our CPU core blocks. Standard ones. Obviously some extra room if you wanted to add more there, but there might be another location for that as well. That's, yeah, interesting. Yeah, reactor number 2 room. So, yeah, it makes sense. Fusion reactors, 2 of them in this ship. So let's take this this way up here. Looks like we go right into a farming section. And I'd say we've got, see, 36 grow plots in this general area here. Got our couple of fridges on the side there. And where are we going now? All right, so then we got our large shield parts. You kind of expected that after you've seen the fusion reactor rooms. So we got, let's see, are these all numbered? They're all T3. So yeah, 2 large shield part rooms there, which would be 5 by 5 by 4 space locations. Wow. I like how the scaling inside, I mean, this is a pretty big ship, but the scaling of the hallways and everything feels pretty good. I like that. Doesn't feel like you're walking through a cathedral or something like that. So looks like on this area over here, we've got more places for big shield parts. So 2 more on that side. So we're looking at 4 total, and I think this is going to wrap around to another 2 more on that side. Oh man, and more over here too. Wow. Okay, this ship is really serious. So it looks like, from what I gather walking around here, it could put on a full complement of large shield parts in the ship, especially if that is mirrored on that side there. And it looks like we got a full complement of 8 small shield parts, plus our main shield in this general area, and the warp drive and pentaxa tank. Definitely getting into some pretty hardcore engineering areas here. And yeah, check that out. More room for the big shield parts. And then yeah, this is on the other side of that. So yeah, full complement of at least small and large shield parts. There's probably mediums in here somewhere too, I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna get a little lost here, but let's go this way. So over here, oh, we got a pretty interesting looking conference room, or decision planning room here. Oh, I've never seen tables done that way before. That is pretty wild looking. I like that. That is a neat look. You got some wood grain on the floor here, being all fancy. And okay, so there's no doors or anything coming off the backside. So yeah, just kind of a room over here to discuss mission plans and whatnot. And then we got this tube area walking this way. Oh, this is kind of where we came from, isn't it? So our farming plots, and let's go this way. We got our bridge, crafting, radar control, and crew quarters all this direction. Hydroponics, docking bay, briefing room. That's where we were over there in engineering. Okay. So crew galley and med bay. Let's check out this way. Ah, med bay right over here. Looks like we got all our specialized equipment plus the standard med bay in O2. And kind of an open area over here, the mess hall. Leave the area clean. Eat at the table. Uh, yeah, I know some of these players might just throw food all over the place when they're in here. Tell ya. Fuel systems. We've got and our teleporter right over here as well. I'll check another door coming off the front of this room. Let's check out fuel. All right, so we got a fuel tank there. Very cool. And looks like do we get oxygen on the other side there? I'm sure there's probably a lot more in the area. It's just you only see the one up front there. Main core containment. So yeah, some more our main CPU core and more of the standard probably Core 9 blocks. And all right, so what is over here? Oh, crew room over here. Sneaky. And yeah, so we got a crew room there and probably another one right. Nope. Some more asymmetrical things going on there. I like to see that though. It's you know, I've made a lot of ships very symmetrical as well, and the ones that I didn't make as symmetrical, I tend to like the interiors more on them because they just feel better. Especially if you're using symmetry to divide up functional areas of the ship. I ran into that on my current build project myself, whereas like I don't want to go that route. I want to keep it like all the production in one place, all the farming in one place. I used to kind of split that stuff up a little bit on certain builds, and it's like it doesn't really serve any good function to split it. I'd rather have it all intact. I guess if you're running out like a co-op crew, one person could just take over like part of the ship over there and have their own constructor zone. That would make sense in that regard. But it is kind of nice to have a lot of that stuff together, especially if you're playing single player. I'm getting lost here, by the way, so I'm just kind of wandering around right now, trying to figure out where I'm going. So yeah, okay, this is that. Yeah, we kind of seen this from the outside. This is that passenger seat, not the bridge. We're kind of just behind the bridge, and this goes out to a flight deck out the back of the ship over here. It's really cool looking stuff going on there. So yeah, you know, this kind of serves a neat little function too, because if someone was the captain and someone was a buddy was landing on the ship and you're gonna go warp somewhere. This way they could park back there, hop into this passenger seat, and boom, you're gone. So that's nice and convenient, actually. It is a pretty big ship. It would take a while to navigate all the way to the front of the ship through the hallways. Obviously, we have production area here too. Yeah, on both sides. They're really close together though, which is kind of nice, right on the other side of the hallway. So it's kind of all intact in one area there. Crafting, radar control, crew quarters. Is there, I'm wondering if there's anything more here I missed on the ship. There probably is. Again, this is a pretty big ship. Yeah, I know I've been up here already too. Yeah, that's where the conference room is. Let me get into God mode here. And I'm going to backtrack from the bridge because I know I missed this. So our main bridge, first person bridge, looks like we got 3 different palatable seats here. And this comes up from this area here that I did miss. Okay, so I was right around here. I just didn't go up that particular elevator. Galley, crew, medbay. Yeah, we looked at that. Hydroponics. Oh, there's more than one farming area though. Yeah. Definitely is. So maybe I'm seeing 2 different farming areas. Maybe I thought I was. Yeah, we'll look at the grow plot count. They're all installed, so we can see how many grow plots there were. Anyway, very, very cool looking ship here. Yeah, really, really wild design here. I've been really impressed with the author's work. Barefoot and Hillbilly has made some really impressive looking Star Wars ships, or Star Wars inspired ships, or replicas as of late too. So quite a aggressive author making a lot of neat stuff. This one's no exception. This is really cool. I wouldn't say necessarily, maybe it's from Star Wars, but I don't know. To me, it just looks original. It looks really, really cool. If I were to look at it, it kind of looks like if MCRN had, or the Expanse had battleships. This kind of would remind me of something that you might see in there. as a battleship. It's just really, really cool design of block work and coloring and texturing and the whole ball of wax. And this is pretty amazing to see too. I know it's not like a real thruster, but it looks really, really, really cool. All right, let's look at some numbers here. So we are only size class 8. I guess it's not that big of a ship. For some reason, I thought it was bigger than that, but no, only size class 8. 50 forward, 32 strafing, 49 lift, 32 reverse, 24 down, 15 fuel tanks, 11 oxygen tanks, 28 hour and 37 minute build time. Obviously, it's going to need some estrium and zacosium. It's got some shield parts and stuff in there. Speaking of that, our stock shield is 14,800, however, heavily upgradable. CPU-wise, it looks like it's going to need additional CPU right off the gates. So it does. I probably missed some rooms in here. I wouldn't doubt there's some dedicated areas for auxiliary and quantum cores. And maybe they just kind of go in with the regular CPU blocks. Obviously, a lot of places to put them. But yeah, that's very nice there too. Its standard weapon loadout does have quite a lot of missile turrets going on here. We've got retractable laser turrets, 6 retractable cannon turrets, 4 regular laser turrets. We got 8 artillery cannons on here. So that's a big chunk of firepower going on there, especially after the shield's down on a enemy ship. And detector. Odd thing is, I could have swore this was going to have a long-range radar on it, but it just appears to have a detector. Thought I even seen one on here. Maybe I was thinking of something else there. So on the storage, looks like we got 2 ammo controllers and 160K a piece. Basically a 320K ammo controller. And then we've got 4 other controllers here. So we got a 304, a 640, another 304, and another 640. So yeah, quite a bit of just base storage right in that area. And beyond that, it looks like a lot of boxes and things like that. P menu options. Don't see any P menu options on this build. And yeah, really, really cool though. Love it. Love it. Really cool ship design. And again, I fear I'm missing something on the interior. I just feel like, you know, maybe a CPU core block room, medium shield part rooms, and stuff like that. But yeah, really, really cool design ship, and it probably has a little more than what I thought it had in it. But yeah, 2 fusion reactor slots, 8 large shield upgrade slots. Yeah, and we did come in through this hangar too, yes. Or did we? Yeah, that's where we first came in the ship at. Yep. Very nice ship there. Again, this is the Incubus 81 by Barefoot and Hillbilly. So the next creation here, this is last 2 are definitely smaller creations versus what we've looked at so far. This one here is the Yaki Moreya. Oh man, that's hard to say. Moreya. Moray. That's probably it. Yaki Moray by Grisbane. So this is an author I'm unfamiliar with as well, but this is a pretty wild looking, I gotta believe this is a SV here. Interesting looking design. Kind of this big, interesting looking nose section here. I like the colors and things like that going on in here too. We got some, yeah, look at that. That's cool. Some of those new large pipe corner blocks and things like that, but it kind of more of in a gray. And so got some reds and some pretty near blacks or really dark grays in the mix here. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, this is pretty wild up here too. That's interesting looking. Kind of look like some different types of thrusters up there, but it's just block work. We got our 4 main 4 drive thrusters there. A lot of detail going on in here. I mean, a lot of intricate block stuff, a lot of neat looking texture stuff going on here as well. Look at that. That's kind of interesting, like kind of like a roundy tank area on the bottom side there. And down in here you can see the Pentaxi tank kind of through the top there. A couple of fuel tanks right there. And these pipes going into this apparatus here, which looks like it certainly could, well, maybe not. No, actually that kind of looks like it's a turret position, but it's on a half block thing, so the turret would have to flow over that by about a half block. But you could certainly put one there. And then we do have some weaponry here. We got a missile launcher, Gatling gun on probably matched on each wing area. Yeah, it's just a really nicely detailed, unusual looking SV build, but it's unusual in a cool way. It's just really different. Yeah, I definitely like that. So it does not look like we have an interior at all. I'm just kind of curious, and let me just buzz through the back side of this a little bit here. And so we do have a warp drive, and that's what I was looking for. And it looks like we also have a shield. Warp drive and shield in here. That's kind of what I was kind of curious about, if it was warp capable or not. And definitely looks to be that way. It's kind of yeah, it's a big tough part to fit in one of these ships, especially if it's a really smaller ship that's skinny. Those warp drives are a pretty big part for sure. That's cool. That's cool. Like a little warp capable shielded fighter. Very nice. Armored cockpit here too. You can kind of tell by the reflection of the glass here. These have actually a lot of hit points. The thing with SVs in this game and the armored cockpits is these are so much stronger than any other blocks for SVs. Well, any other like hull blocks for SVs. Like you could have an interior cockpit area and put glass in front of it, but they're so weak compared to the armored cockpit. It almost really wants you to use the armored cockpit. And what I mean by that is, like this here is going to have like 1,800 hit points. And if you look at the, well, that's just carbon there, but yeah, I think this the hull here is, oh, well, like here's a hardened steel block over here. It might not be a full block, but it's 203 hit points. So it's just a significant boost on SVs using the actual armored cockpits versus anything else you could do really with glass, or even if you went up to combat. I don't even think you can do combat steel. So it's just, yeah, if you want to stay alive, it's this kind of cockpit's a better idea for SVs. But if you want that immersion feel and the interior and the whole ball of wax, well, you just kind of, there's no way to really defend that near as well as using armored cockpits, unless you just put some miscellaneous armored cockpits hidden in the hull, which would be kind of silly, but it would provide a lot of SV armor for sure. You can bury cockpits as your strongest block. Kind of a strange way to do it for sure. So I don't know if I agree with the stats on that. I kind of wish some of the other, there were some other options, like some really tough glass or something you could use so for interior cockpits to compete with the prefab cockpits. But all right, well anyway, let's look at some numbers there. To start with, we are size unlock level 12, size class 1. Really fast forward. So 184, 9 strafing, 61 lift, 35 reverse, 50 down. Does run 2 RCS units in here. Running the 2 Gatling cannons and 2 guided missile launchers and a detector. Hour and 43-minute build time. Uses just a smidgen of estrium and zirconium, but very little. Yeah, pretty inexpensive ship here. Warp capable, get around. Can shoot up some drones and things like that. SV, CPU wise, it is pretty light on that too. It's far from a Core 9, only running 25,000 CPU and using 21,853 of that. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Storage. Right here. So we got an ammo controller at 1125. Actually, 2 ammo controllers at both at 1125. And then we got a container controller at 1414. Beyond that, it does have a fridge as well in there. And no other boxes. And then, of course, the Pentaxi tank for both the warp drive and the shield that's in the ship here. So, yeah, we're really cool looking SV here. Again, the Yaki Morea. Oh, no. Morea. By Grisbane. Sorry about I butchered the name of your ship. It's a cool sounding name too. I have speech impediments. So, yeah, very cool. So the last creation today, this one was actually kind of meant to be kind of like a boat, sort of, and it's really cool here. This is the UNC HT 202 Medium by Jarvis 1563, and this is I believe this is a HV. Yes, we got the. Haven't seen too many HVs lately, so yeah, I just definitely wanted to get a HV in the mix here. So this is like a tank, a watercraft HV, and I just thought it looked really cool. The overall design work on it, it's very sleek, it's very aerodynamic, and it's kind of, when it's some of the pictures of this were like literally on the water, and it really does look like a watercraft too. The way the front is kind of like these are your like I want to call them pontoons, but some more high-tech watercraft stuff going on for steering and whatnot. And it's just the way it looks sitting like that. I thought it looked really cool. And for being a tank, it looks like it has a really nice turret layout setup as well. Looks like we're going to have a good line of sight with all these turrets, including the big artillery turret back there, a couple side turrets over here. Our reverse thrust is kind of hidden back there. We do have some fixed weapons as well. Right down below there looks like a couple of these guys, which I just want to make sure. A couple laser cannons right there to help bring down a shield of a POI. Yeah, just a nice slick looking design here. Definitely like this. And yeah, I don't believe there's any interior on this one either, but I could be wrong. Let's take a good look at the back here. What's going on right here? Oh, look at that. These are passenger seats, or passenger seat things. I don't even know what these parts are called. I don't think I've ever used one in a build before. But yeah, passenger compartments. So yeah, you got a couple passenger places back over here that they can just walk up and sit in just like that, and then you get a view off the back side of it too, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like that. That's slick. Interesting way to get the passenger, some passengers with you there. Now obviously your main cockpit over here. Let me fly on the inside a little bit more here and see. If we've got, well, we can probably tell by the stats. Obviously, you don't find warp drives on HVs, but it does have a shield and pentaxi tank in here. Looks like we got storage controllers, our fuel tanks. Looks like we got some RCS in the creation as well. CPU blocks, more thrusters. One other thing here. Let's take a look at the hull material. Looks like we're running hardened steel, at least across the front. Looks like it's pretty solid. Hardened steel across the creation, and another armored cockpit with 1,600 hit points right there. Again, if you really wanted to build a HV or SV that's extra tough, and I never thought of this until I looked at a lot of these creations this video, is you could almost use like a bunch of cockpits as, bury them like in the hull and use them as like big hard hitting, like if you're gonna have the Xeno block out an area of a ship to give it a lot more hit points in a certain area. Same idea with the cockpits on these kinds of creations there. So yeah, anyway, that's very cool. Let's look at some numbers here. So to start with, we are unlock level 20, size class 1, 18 forward, 15 strafing. We don't have lift. Well, we actually do have lift. Oh, that's weird. It's a HV. It's got 76 lift though. Interesting. I didn't expect to see that there. Six reverse, and obviously we don't have any down. HV. Again, it's usually looking at 4 directions, but this does appear to have lift thrusters on it, or maybe. Oh, it doesn't actually have lift thrusters, does it? No. That's got to be these things, these Hoover boosters or hover boosters. on it. It must be calculating those as lift thrust. So that's probably where it's coming to play at. It's not that it physically has lift thrusters on it, I don't believe. I'm sure not seeing any. Okay, so that is definitely cool there. So let's look at the CPU on this. Okay, so CPU, was this supposed to be for vanilla? Interesting. So it does look like it needs a little more CPU, but maybe I'm looking at it in the wrong light. Maybe I brought this into Reforged Eden when this is actually a vanilla creation, which would make all the difference in the world on the CPU for sure, because this kind of, I bet you this is vanilla, and this is a tier 4 vanilla build, and it's using, the numbers would be way different, but I'm pretty sure that it does not have a CPU problem. It's just I brought it into the wrong version of the game here, and I do believe this is a vanilla creation. Didn't see any Reforged Eden specific parts on here either, so yeah, that's probably the deal, and I'm pretty sure it is totally compliant with if you're going to bring it into the vanilla game. Sorry about that, I screwed that up. I for some reason thought this was Reforged Eden when it was not. I had it sitting around on my desktop there for a little bit. I wanted to check it out, and then I, for some reason, just zoned out and thought it was Reforged Eden. My bad on that one, but yeah, I don't think it's going to have any CPU problems. Let's take a look at the storage. It looks like we just got a single storage controller in here, or ammo control, I should say, at 5125. So a pretty good size ammo controller on there to do some shoot everything up there. And again, I think, did we look at this shield? The shield, yeah, this shield is, it looks like 815 stock there. All right. Anyway, very, very cool looking creation. I dig the aesthetics of it. It looks neat, and how the author took pictures of it of like over the water. It looked really, really cool too. Again, it kind of looks like a high-tech boat that's meant to go pretty darn fast and shoot stuff up. Military-oriented gunship, small boat. I don't even know what you'd call that classification of a creation, like a PT boat or something. I don't know, but in modern terms. Anyway, really, really cool creation. In fact, some really awesome creations again this week. Wow, everyone's just kicking butt. I tell you, they're just really, really putting a lot of time and effort to building like these gorgeous, gorgeous creations. You know, I trust me. I know how much work can go into one of these, and really, we all appreciate it, seeing all these lovely creations that we can bring in and use in game as well. Very, very nice. So, other than that, that is everything for this week here, and yeah, awesome, just awesome, everyone. So, you all have yourself a great weekend, and I will talk to you later.